Hey, Raiders Nation. Today we're diving deep into everything happening with the Las Vegas Raiders. And let me tell you, there's a lot to unpack. One name that's been absolutely buzzing lately is rookie offensive lineman Caleb Rogers. This guy's been turning heads over the last couple of weeks. And it's not just hype. He's earning on the field. In his very first full game, he played every single snap against the Denver Broncos, and the performance was impressive across the board. People have been sharing clips, praising him, and he's quickly becoming a viral sensation, not just because of his stats, but because of the way he carries himself and how he talks about the game. Caleb Rogers isn't just letting the numbers define him. He's out there taking accountability and showing leadership from the start. If you take a look at his play, Pro Football Focus rated him very highly this past week, noting that he allowed no quarterback hits, no sacks, and generally no pressures. But when Caleb was asked about this, he had an interesting take. He didn't fully agree with the rating, and I love hearing that perspective. He pointed out that while the stats may show 0 sacks or pressures, there were moments where he felt responsible for plays that didn't go perfectly. In particular, he mentioned a sack that came after some chaotic moments in the back of the end zone. He acknowledged that his teammate made the tackle, but he still took ownership of the situation, showing a mindset that isn't just about numbers. It's about doing his job to the fullest and holding himself accountable. That kind of mentality is rare, especially from a rookie stepping into the NFL spotlight. Now, Caleb might be misunderstanding a bit how PFF measures plays. They assign sacks and pressures differently than a player might see them in the moment. But the key takeaway here isn't whether the numbers are technically correct. The important thing is that Caleb Rogers is showing maturity beyond his experience. Watching his tape, it's clear he has natural talent and instincts for the position. There were a few snaps where he was beaten, sure, but over more than 50 plays, he consistently looked solid and composed. This guy plays with a presence that suggests he could become a leader for this team, and the Raiders are lucky to have him stepping in so seamlessly. It's also worth noting that Caleb Rogers has been performing at a high level despite not having top-tier coaching at his position. The offensive line coach hasn't necessarily been the strongest influence on development, yet Caleb is adapting, learning, and performing. When he faces elite defensive linemen like Chris Jones or Zach Allen, he's holding his own in one-on-one matchups. That speaks to natural ability, preparation, and mental toughness. Even when the coaching could be better, this guy is making plays, protecting the quarterback, and giving the Raiders a reliable option at right guard moving forward. On top of that, the team recently received some positive news with Colton Miller return to practice. Miller's return is huge because he started the season playing at a peak level, looking dominant in both pass blocking and run blocking. Unfortunately, injuries have interrupted his momentum over the past several seasons. But this offseason was the first time he had a full chance to recover and train. The high ankle injury that sidelined him was unfortunate, a completely uncontrollable situation during a game. But now he's back, and it'll be fascinating to see how he reintegrates into the lineup. His presence is a boost for the entire offensive line, complementing the rising performance of Caleb Rogers and giving the Raiders more stability up front. Meanwhile, at quarterback, there's still uncertainty with Geno Smith. He hasn't been practicing, which likely means Kenny Pickett will get the start. Pickett's performance is more than just a single game. It's a chance to see if he could be the Raiders' quarterback moving forward. This is crucial for the organization because they need clarity on who will lead the team into the future. Even as Caleb Rogers and Colton Miller bring strength to the line, the quarterback position is pivotal for the Raiders' overall offensive success. The decisions made in the next few weeks will have a major impact on how the rest of the season unfolds. Adding to the intrigue, there's been discussion around Joe Burrow and his future with the Cincinnati Bengals. Burrow's comments have sparked speculation that he may not want to stay with the Bengals long-term, and this is capturing attention across the league. He's been very reflective about his experience, noting that football should be fun, and when it's not, it raises questions about where he wants to continue his career. Considering he's already faced over 200 sacks in fewer than 86 games, comparable to Andrew Luck's career in terms of physical toll, it's understandable that he might be considering his options. Whether he retires, stays, or requests a move, teams like the Raiders are naturally going to be monitoring the situation. The combination of emerging talent like Caleb Rogers, the return of veterans such as Colton Miller, and quarterback developments makes this an incredibly dynamic moment for the Raiders. The offensive line is shaping up in a way that could provide more protection and consistency, which in turn impacts the quarterback's performance and overall team success. Each of these pieces connects: rookies stepping up, veterans returning from injury, and the potential shifts at quarterback, creating a narrative that's both exciting and critical for the Raiders' trajectory this season. As we continue to track Caleb Rogers, it's evident that he's more than just a promising player. His leadership qualities, accountability, and adaptability set him apart, and the Raiders' future at right guard looks secure with him in the role. Colton Miller's return adds experience and stability, potentially elevating the line's performance to new levels. Meanwhile, the quarterback situation remains fluid, and any developments there could dramatically shape the team's strategy moving forward. It's a perfect storm of opportunity and challenge, and the Raiders' ability to navigate it all will define their competitiveness for the remainder of the season. With the team managing injuries, developing rookies, and evaluating quarterback options, the Raiders are at a crossroads that could set the tone for years to come. The combination of emerging stars and returning talent is promising, but questions remain, particularly around the quarterback position and how well the offensive line can sustain its performance against elite defenses. Caleb Rogers' breakout and Colton Miller's return represent bright spots that give fans hope, while ongoing decisions around quarterbacks and player development will determine how this team shapes up in the long term. At the same time, watching Caleb on tape, it's clear he's more than just his statistics. He demonstrates awareness, effort, and poise in every play, consistently stepping into situations where the pressure is immense and responding effectively. That mentality, combined with his physical skill set, suggests he could become a cornerstone for the Raiders' offensive line for years. Observers can see that even without top-level coaching, he's absorbing concepts, adapting to different defensive looks, and excelling in high-pressure situations. The growth potential here is massive, and for fans of the Raiders, this is a storyline worth following closely. Colton Miller's comeback is equally compelling. After enduring multiple seasons interrupted by injuries, he's finally had an opportunity to train fully and regain his form. His return doesn't just add talent. It adds confidence to the unit, knowing that a proven veteran is back on the field. That combination of experience and emerging talent like Caleb Rogers creates a balance that the Raiders desperately need to protect their quarterbacks and establish consistency in both the passing and running game. Looking at the broader picture, the quarterback situation is where the stakes are highest. Kenny Pickett stepping in could be a turning point, as it allows the team to evaluate his potential for the future. Meanwhile, Geno Smith's status and contract considerations add layers of complexity that impact team planning and decision-making. And beyond the Raiders, news of Joe Burrow potentially being dissatisfied in Cincinnati adds an unexpected element, as any ripple effect across the league could open opportunities or pose challenges for teams like Las Vegas. Ultimately, what we're seeing with the Raiders is a team at an inflection point. The development of rookies, the return of seasoned players from injury, and quarterback uncertainties converge into a scenario that could define the remainder of the season. Caleb Rogers exemplifies the promise of youth and leadership. Colton Miller brings experience and skill, and the quarterback decisions will shape the team's trajectory. Each week, as these pieces interact on the field, the narrative evolves, keeping fans engaged and hopeful that the Raiders can turn potential into tangible success. Now, diving deeper into the quarterback situation, there's a lot to unpack with Kenny Pickett, Geno Smith, and even the buzz around Joe Burrow. For the Raiders, the immediate question is clear. Can Kenny Pickett step up and show he has the potential to be the franchise quarterback? With Geno Smith not practicing, Pickett is likely to start, and this is more than just a game-to-game decision. It's about evaluating whether he can handle pressure, read defenses, and lead this offense effectively. Pickett has flashes of talent and athleticism, but the NFL is unforgiving, and the Raiders need answers quickly if they are to build for the future. Every snap he takes is an audition, not just for this season, but for the trajectory of the team in the coming years. Geno Smith's situation adds another layer of complexity. While he has an injury guarantee in his contract, it doesn't necessarily mean he's out for the season or that he requires surgery immediately. But the language around these contracts can be tricky, and there's always the potential for disputes over guarantees or injury claims. If Smith is healthy, but the Raiders decide to move on, there's the question of whether that $8 million injury guarantee comes into play, and it's a delicate balance of financial strategy and roster management. For the Raiders, the stakes are high, because how they handle Smith's situation could impact both the salary cap and the long-term planning at quarterback. Meanwhile, the talk surrounding Joe Burrow has created a ripple effect across the league. Burrow's recent comments about the enjoyment of playing football and his future with the Bengals spark speculation that he might be considering a change. He's been reflective about the toll of the game, both physically and emotionally, pointing out that fun and fulfillment are critical to continuing in the NFL. Comparisons to Andrew Luck have been made, highlighting how much Burrow has endured in terms of sacks and game pressure at a relatively young stage in his career. The fact that he's been sacked more times in fewer games than Luck by a significant margin speaks volumes about the level of stress and physical punishment he's experienced. If Burrow truly wants out of Cincinnati, it could open doors for several teams looking for a franchise quarterback. While the Raiders might not be the obvious landing spot, it's not out of the question to consider the possibilities. The team would have to weigh the cost, the logistics of a potential trade, and how Burrow's arrival would fit with the current roster. On paper, acquiring a quarterback of his caliber could accelerate the Raiders' rebuild, but the reality is more complex. Chemistry, offensive line protection, and supporting weapons all play a critical role in determining whether such a move would be successful. For fans, it's an exciting scenario to consider, but one that comes with many questions and risks. Back to the present, Caleb Rogers and Colton Miller are already creating a positive shift in the offensive line. Rogers' ability to handle elite pass rushers, combined with Miller's experience and recent full offseason of preparation, gives the Raiders a more solid foundation. This matters immensely when you consider the challenges quarterbacks face behind a struggling line. A reliable line allows the quarterback to make quicker decisions, reduces sacks, and improves the overall efficiency of the offense. Even if Pickett starts, having Rodgers and Miller in place gives him the tools he needs to succeed and minimizes the risks of the line breaking down under pressure. The Raiders' offensive line development also intersects with a quarterback evaluation. Watching Rodgers on film, it's evident that he's not just executing plays mechanically. He's reading the field, adjusting on the fly, and communicating effectively. Those leadership qualities are crucial because when a rookie is guiding protection schemes and handling elite defensive talent, it allows the quarterback to operate with more confidence. Miller's return further enhances this dynamic, providing a veteran presence who can mentor younger players and maintain stability even under high-pressure situations. Together, these two form a core that could anchor the line for years to come, which is vital when you're evaluating a quarterback's potential future with the team. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers have been circulating through the league, and the latest bombshell might just shake up the NFL landscape. Jaylen Waddle has reportedly inked a deal with Las Vegas, a move that could catapult the team's offense into an entirely new stratosphere. Sources close to the situation suggest that the signing was the product of meticulous planning by the Raiders' front office, eager to inject speed, agility, and star power into a wide receiver core that has been quietly underwhelming. Insiders claim that Waddle's arrival could transform Las Vegas into one of the most electrifying offensive units in the league. Known for his explosive acceleration, precise route running, and uncanny ability to find space even against tight coverage, Waddle is expected to become an immediate weapon for the team's quarterback. Coaches and analysts alike are buzzing about the potential chemistry that could develop, imagining deep field throws slicing through defenses while Waddle stretches the field like never before. The chatter isn't limited to XS and OS. Rumors suggest that Waddle's presence alone could open up opportunities for other receivers, tight ends, and even the running game, forcing opposing defenses to rethink their game plans entirely. Some league insiders speculate that the Raiders might not just be aiming for incremental improvement, but rather positioning themselves as a team capable of redefining the pace and aggressiveness of their offensive playbook. Of course, such a high-profile signing comes with its share of intrigue. Contract details are reportedly tight-lipped, and speculation about bonus structures, incentives, and potential renegotiations is fueling conversations across the league. Fans and media alike are buzzing with predictions, debates, and hot takes about how Waddle's dynamic style will mesh with the existing roster. There's also an undercurrent of curiosity about how the veteran leadership and locker room culture will absorb a player of Waddle's caliber and how quickly the team can adjust to his explosive, game-changing potential. For now, the story remains tantalizingly incomplete. Coaches are said to be designing plays behind closed doors. Quarterbacks are reportedly envisioning routes that stretch beyond what they've attempted before, and the city of Las Vegas is quietly bracing for an offensive renaissance. Whether Waddle will instantly become the cornerstone of a record-breaking offense or simply add another layer of excitement remains to be seen. But one thing is undeniable. The rumor mill has never been this electric, and the league is watching Las Vegas with a renewed sense of curiosity and anticipation. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.